So, Mr. Special Guest, would you like to introduce yourself to the people listening on Top FM?
Hello on Top FM. It's your boy AO in the building, live and direct.
Okay, AO. So you know exactly what the first question is going to be, don't you? So let's start. Before we go into that first question, let's just do the beginning. Let's lead into that first question.
Okay, yeah.
The name AO.
Yes.
Previously, you were known as AO, spelled AEO.
Yeah.
So AO, as far as I'm concerned, anytime I've seen the name spelled, would be AYO, for example.
Yeah.
So can you just, is there a reason why we have the AEO?
Okay, so people think that AEO derives from my actual name, AYO.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't.
It's an acronym.
It's an acronym there of some sort, like
Okay.
more of an abbreviation of a word.
Okay.
That I stand for, that I want to stand for.
Okay.
Which is infinity, making infinite music that lives on for an infinite amount of years. So Aeonian is the word that AO actually derives
Man,
from.
come with them big words. What's the word? Aeonian.
Aeonian.
What does that mean?
Infinity. Just going on for an
So
infinite
while you're
amount of
here,
time.
I'll be going on Google.
Yeah,
and seeing
check
this.
it out.
Aeonian.
Check it out.
So how do you spell Aeonian?
AEONIAN.
Oh, that's a secret for me. AEONIAN.
NIAN.
A-N,
Yeah.
Aeonian. Aeonian meaning. Aeonian, of or relating to an geological eon. Longer than era, whatever that means.
Longer
Okay,
than
right.
era, yeah.
An era, sorry.
Yeah,
Aeonian, continuing forever or indefinitely.
basically.
The ageless themes of love and revenge. Okay, now we're getting very deep here.
Getting really
eternal,
deep there.
eternal truths, life everlasting,
Yeah.
hell's perpetual fires. Oh my gosh, where are we going with this?
Listen, there's a lot to AO, basically.
Okay, fair enough.
A lot, but you're going deep.
Yeah, but it depends how deep you were prepared to go in the first instance. So it's going to be nice. It sounded nice to begin with. Now we don't know how. We're talking about the depths of hell and stuff. Jeez.
Okay, I won't go
Yeah,
that
we'll leave
deep.
that
We ain't
bit.
going
Okay.
that deep. But, we're talking about ageless, the concept of being
Fine.
ageless.
Okay.
Ageless,
We'll
timeless.
We'll stick with that. It's safer.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So then, but now you've now changed it to A3O. Is it A3O or A30?
A3O.
So it's not A30.
No.
So it's not like anywhere you're going to be driving.
No,
Okay,
no,
fine.
no.
Right. So why have you changed it from AEO to A30?
Because
Who stole your name?
who stole my name? There's a lot of counterfeit AOs out there that aren't,
Don't forget to keep your mic up as well. Come
Okay, so there are a lot of counterfeit AOs that are out there, I'm not gonna lie. Upon stumbling upon it, typing in my name, sometimes I find that there are quite a few
on. Really?
AOs that people who actually don't even use the name to do anything, they just have accounts on the name. And I'm like, okay, that was one for me. But at the beginning of the year, second quarter of the year, a lot of stuff was going on, in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement, and the current situation with NSARS and all that stuff that's going on right now. A lot of social issues amongst the black community, and it just kind of made me question what I stand for as an artist.
Okay.
And what I want my music to stand for. So that's where the changing of the E to the 3 kind of really stems from. So the 3 is basically what I call it, some sort of a sign that stands for literally love, life, and light, basically.
Okay, well, I'm glad it means so much to you that you struggle to remember it.
No, because I normally say it in the wrong order, which is
Okay.
the right order: love, life, and light. Basically.
Love, life, and light.
Light, yes.
Does it matter what order?
Doesn't really matter, to be honest,
Okay,
but I
cool.
like it. I think it sounds better in that order.
So now that you've got some sort of meaning behind A30,
Yeah,
and we've established what the 3 stands for,
yeah.
what's the A and the O?
The A and the O still part of the Aeonian theme that's been going on.
Oh,
Anyway.
I see. So I was going to ask what happened to the Aeonian. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
so
Still
my theme is to not. Obviously, I know I can't live forever, but I want to create music that lives forever. So,
nice. I like that. Okay. Makes sense. Okay, so we've got a bit background on the name.
Yes.
That's good. So we've cleared that all up. So now, my next question is, so now we've got the name A3O. If we want to find you on Instagram, it's A30.A30.
Yeah.
So, is there another A30, or did you mess up your account?
Okay, so mess up my account. No, I didn't. So at first, I started my tag, my Insta handle and Twitter handle as he is AO, but a lot of people for some reason were finding it difficult to read that he is AO. It just looked like a jumble of words to them.
Yeah.
And then one of my mates, shout out Anton, he was like, why don't you just go by AO? Like AO, A3O, and I thought, oh, that has a ring to it. That can work. It's simple. For some reason, Instagram wouldn't let me just have A3O.
Really?
So it just wouldn't let me have A3O. So I thought, okay, AO then. And yeah, that works. I don't think it's that difficult. You made it sound like it is difficult.
Because sometimes
so confusing, like I was thinking, nah, it's easy.
It is very easy to be fair. It's easy. No, it's easy if you know. But I'm assuming anyone who types in A3O, I'm assuming your name will pop up anyway.
Yeah, I would be the first one to pop up.
Cool.
But Instagram wouldn't let me have A3O for some reason.
Cool, good.
So,
okay, now that we've got that out of the way. Welcome.
Thank you.
So who is AO? Tell us about who you are, what is that you do?
I'm a performing artist from South London, Brixton, Brixton. I sing Afro-fusion of soul and alternative R&B. I've been doing this for a while now. Okay. So, yeah, that's me. That's AO.
All right, friend. And how, when you say for a while, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years?
Counting back to 2014, so probably about 7 years now.
7 years, wow, okay. Was those school days?
School days actually I would say I started when I was 4, but chasing this properly, like radio interviews, putting music out there, I started from 2014. But it's been with me from a young age, through the whole of school, whole of university, everything.
So started at 4, so I got, as I say, the day gets from bad to worse, won't it?
Breathe.
I know. So started at 4. Where's my Lucas? Starting at 4. What were you doing? Were you in the church?
So I started with my school choir.
Yeah, well, I was close.
School choir. Okay. I weren't going to church when I was younger. Okay. I weren't.
Your parents didn't force you to church?
No.
You're so lucky.
They didn't. I think I started going to church later on in my life.
Were your parents religious?
They weren't when I was growing up, but along the way they.
How old were you when you started going to church?
I think I was about 10, 11.
10, 11?
Yeah.
Still kind of young, but you're
still
so
kind of
lucky.
young, but it weren't the thing where when I was a kid I was forced to go to church. No, it weren't that. But I enjoyed it though.
Pardon?
I enjoyed going to church because I was active in the church. Like, it weren't just a thing where I was going there listening to sermons all day. Like, I was active. Obviously, listening to sermons is part of the whole experience, but I don't think it was a chore for me. It weren't a chore.
Okay. All right. But you know what is though? So I've had these conversations many a time, and I didn't realise why I didn't like church so much. So now I understand why. When people say, "Oh, I enjoy church," I can't. My mind just doesn't allow me to comprehend them and decipher. Like, why would anyone like church? Like, when I think back to church, like, how could you like church especially as a kid growing up, and there's cartoons and there's YouTube and there's whatever.
What church did you go to?
Right, so that's what I did. So as far as I was concerned, all churches were like my church.
Okay, yeah.
So I went to a very, very Catholic church.
Okay,
so we were the only black people in my church, basically.
Okay, say no more.
Right, okay. So when you are singing your hums and someone's fainting on the ground and rolling and saying, Jesus has taken me, whatever, we've got, we've got all that.
Yeah.
That was my church. Now I understand why I didn't like it so much and everyone seemed to enjoy theirs. Because yours is hype. Yeah?
We did it.
Right.
It was hype.
Cool.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
It was great, man.
I still don't know if I'd enjoy going, but I probably would have enjoyed it more than the church that I went to.
Okay, yeah. I think you definitely would have.
Okay.
You definitely would have.
All right. So you were in the choir. So what made you join the choir at 4 as well, at such a young age?
It's like, when I think about it, it's just really mad because I'm like, what did I know at 4 about a choir? Like, all I remember is a teacher coming in saying, we're putting together this school choir. Anyone want to join in? It'll be fun. And I went and I auditioned. I auditioned with Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, by the way, just to show you how.
Them tunes there.
Yeah.
Rhythm.
Literally, and the whole choir was like, I think I was the youngest in the choir.
Yeah.
And from then on, like, they used to take us out to perform, like, to the elderly around the area. So we go to care homes.
Okay.
And my aunt, who was friends with my choir teacher, she used to come along, record, and like, be my little cheerleader there. Yeah, go. And it was fun. I actually loved the impact of just looking at people and being able to make an impact on their emotion through my voice.
And especially being so young, they're going, and it's
exactly. You got the whole feel like everyone was just cheering for you. And from then on, it just kind of followed me through the rest of my life.
Well, at 4, that's quite a young age, so you weren't nervous at all?
I was quite a confident child, to be honest.
Okay.
I was that child that you take to a party and you'd find that child on the dance floor amongst the adults, bare rocking it out. Yeah. Like, I was quite confident from being a young boy.
Good.
So
So were you the youngest in the choir?
Yeah.
At 4?
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, so you would have been like literally the person that everyone's looking towards.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So you can imagine like being given solos and then having to come, oh, that little one, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I really liked it, and I
Okay.
feel like that's what kind of morphed my love for music.
Yeah.
And just knowing that the power that I had within my voice into making people feel better.
Yeah.
Making people forget whatever they had going on in that moment in time, and just seeing a smile on their face was.
You know what makes me laugh about art is so much. I have to say this to you right now, because almost everyone who sits on that chair or comes and joins me in the studio does this.
Yeah.
I don't understand how artists who are singers and rappers and whatever you do with a microphone, none of you don't know how to use a microphone.
What do you mean?
So you're talking, you're like, yes, I went to the shop and then I went to and the microphone's everywhere. So
Listen. I use my hands a lot, so it's holding a mic. It's just like
so when you're singing, you're like, I don't hear what you're saying.
You know what? Yeah.
I just had to say it because everyone does it. I'm like, how is this?
No, it's because we use our hands a lot, innit? Like,
Okay. Do I need to get you a mic stand?
For next time? Yeah,
Okay, we'll do it next time. Okay, so you were in the church and you were singing there. You went to school. Were you taking part in like school like talent shows and stuff?
Yeah, but that started more later on because I felt like I was kind of more focused on the choir stuff going out.
Oh, okay.
And performing with the choir for I think the most of primary school actually.
Okay.
Started doing talent shows in that secondary school.
Okay.
Started putting myself out there even more. Secondary school time. So yeah, we do talent shows. Perform at Anti-Bullying Week, Red Nose Day.
Okay, so let me tell you something. Yeah, in my school, if anyone started singing in Anti-Bullying Week, those are the people getting bullied the most. You start singing at Anti-Bullying Week.
It weren't even a thing, you know. More time. My school's quite supportive.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school.
Not in Brixton.
I went to school in Clapham actually.
It's just as bad almost.
Clapham, exactly. Lambeth Academy. Shout out Lambeth Academy.
Means nothing to me, but I can imagine it's bad.
But it wasn't the. I don't know. It wasn't the baddest of schools, but you know, it was.
When you compare it to what? It wasn't bad when you compare it to prison.
No, when you compare it to Lillian Bailey's, you know, like Stockwell Park, and I went to Stockwell Park for a bit actually. There are quite a few other schools out there that had more of a reputation than Lambeth Academy, especially because it was a school that was quite new at the time.
Okay.
Like we were the first year.
Yeah.
So I feel like we were all supportive, and like all the popular kids,
Yeah.
they just got the support and love that, you're coming out, putting yourself out there. So it was fun.
Why were you singing at Anti-Bullying Week? Is it because you were a singer or because you were either the bully or the bullied?
Nah, it weren't even that. It was the fact that I was a singer and they recognized, the talent that was there. So I was paired up with a few of my other like classmates, and we would just do stuff like just empower the people, innit?
Out of interest, what were you? The bully or the bullied? Are you the bullier or the bully? Let's get a bit of background here. Why not? Let's do this.
No comment. Let's move on. No comment.
Fair enough. Okay. So you left school, and at that point, I'm assuming you knew you wanted to sing.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you talk about talent contest? Would you ever do a voice or an X Factor? Would you ever do it?
No. Right now, no.
Why not?
Because I've experienced it, and I'm like, nah.
Oh, what have you experienced?
Yeah. I think I did X Factor 2018 or 2016. Yeah, one of those years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got through to, was it the stage before judges' houses?
Okay.
But, yeah. I wouldn't do it again.
So before so you didn't actually have a mentor at that point?
Oh, I did have a mentor.
Oh, who was the mentor?
My mentor was that guy from One Direction, Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got through all the stages, performed in front of Robbie Williams, his wife, Simon Cowell, and Louis. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, not everything that happens is what you see.
Oh, I think we all know that.
So
we all know, yeah.
A lot of good talent goes through and you don't even get a whiff of them.
Yep, yeah. And they deliberately put bad talent through as well.
Exactly.
So I think there's like one or two stages before you even get to the TV.
I didn't do that stage.
Okay, so how did they scout you?
They
or
scouted me.
Okay,
So
where did they scout you from? Where did they see you?
Instagram, I think. Yeah, it was
Oh,
Instagram.
really?
I got an Instagram message first. I ignored that. Then they went onto my Facebook.
Yeah.
Like messaged me then, ignored that. Then I randomly just got an email that we'd really like to see you. And then
Yeah.
I came in onto the audition day.
But it gets worse because a friend of mine got scouted, and so obviously she didn't do the beginning bits because she got scouted, so she went straight through to the first stage that everybody sees.
Yeah.
And then they told her, no, you're not good enough. Imagine that after they scouted her.
It's awkward Mine was a bit like kind of like a blow basically, because they didn't even show my first audition. Okay. So one of those ones where you audition, they love it, and the crowd's like reaction to it was amazing. Yeah. And I was looking for, where's my audition coming on? Yeah.
Nothing.
They just showed me bang right. I think it was the 6-chair challenge. Few minutes there, and I'm like, okay.
That being said, I know who was it? I know someone that was on X Factor, and we saw. Literally, we didn't see them until the 6-chair challenge. Yeah. But we did see them sitting in the waiting room on a chair. As it panned past them. Literally, that's the only time we saw her. I can't remember who it was now, but literally up until that point, didn't see her.
I think they used my first audition in a advert. I think that's where I was like, okay, so they're probably going to show me next week. And was at the 6-chair challenge. I'm like, okay, but then I've heard of other stories that are just worse. Yeah. Where even like The Voice. Yeah. People go on and they're not showed at all, and I'm like, oh, I thought The Voice was more about The Voice.
So did I. Yeah, but
it's the same. It's all TV. Wow, it's all TV.
What was your sob story?
I didn't have a sob story. Probably that's why.
That's literally why you didn't get shown. 100%. It's not even a joke. That's why. No sob story. You got to go. I didn't have a
sob story. I must admit, I didn't have a sob story.
Did they ask you for a sob story though?
They did, but I wasn't going down that route.
So what was your?
I was just like, I'm a singer. I'm a performing artist that's looking for a break, really.
Hilarious.
That was it. That was my truth. I wasn't looking to bring out any fake story about this happened to me, that happened to me. Yeah. It wasn't the time. Hilarious. I wanted it to be about the music.
Let's play one of your songs right now. We're going to play Rounds. Okay. Talk to me about Rounds. What's it about? How did you make it? Why did you make it?
Rounds was my first release of 2020, to be honest. Yeah, the first release that I did visually anyways for 2020. It's just about someone's heart being played in rounds. Again, it's got the Afrofusion sound going on there, the big cinematic sounds. Just, proclaiming your love and been feeling like, oh yeah, you've just been left and played. That's what Rounds about, really, literally. So enjoy Rounds. This is Rounds by A3O.
All right, so let's talk about you now. So that song Rounds was the first time I was introduced to you. I wasn't aware of you from before. You said it was recorded this year.
Yeah, so I basically...
Okay, so just a second. Did you see what you just did, right?
Guys, I admit I'm bad with this at the moment.
Go on, tell me about it.
Yeah, I did. I recorded it in 2019, but I released the visuals for it 2020, so January 2020. Okay. Yeah, Rounds was fun. Like, I just felt like I wanted to tap into my ancestral kind of like vibe. Mm-hmm. Like, you hear the drums and you hear the big sounds. It's just like, all right, this is moving towards the direction that I want my sound to be at that point in time. That's what I was thinking anyways.
Okay. So you're still finding yourself as an artist, you think?
At that point, I felt like, I was still finding myself end of 2019. But then, as I said earlier on, I just had to like sit back and just take in everything. And I remember when the pandemic happened, I was just like, what's going on? Like, this is not how I planned 2020 to be. I've got release scheduled, gigs scheduled, everything cancelled at once. I'm just like, all gone. And I was just like, maybe it's time for me to be still and just think and take in and look at things from a different perspective. And what do I want to actually stand for as an artist? And that's where the whole rebranding came from.
Okay, so I'm going to jump onto that in a minute, but I want to go back a little bit. As this was my introduction to you, what had you done in terms of releasing and performances before? I know we touched on X Factor and whatever, but in terms of you as an artist, what had you released, the performance that you had done, what leading up to that point?
So for me, I've dabbled in a lot in the past 7 years, musically. Musically for myself, I've performed on stages with like Western and Anne-Marie, via Capital Extras, Music Potential.
Okay. Which one?
2016. Yeah, 2016. Okay. All right. I was at I was one of the showcase artists for that year. Yeah. I've done a lot of stuff actually behind the scenes as well. BVs for Kylie Minogue, performed with her in 2018.
Really? Where was that?
At the BBC Two Radio Live festival.
What do you know where it was?
Hyde Park.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hyde Park, 70,000 people.
I'm going to say, imagine that's your biggest audience.
That was a big audience. I was just like, oh god. But it was fun though. Yeah. It's great performing with Kylie Minogue. Also done some work with Robbie Williams. On his Christmas album that he just released last year.
Was that based on you meeting him in the X Factor?
No, that was a completely different connect. it just happened by chance. Really, I was like, oh yeah, I met him at X Factor. He knows me. But yeah, it was fun doing that.
Did he remember you?
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
Rob, yeah, my mate Rob, yeah, know him, yeah, all right, geez, Rob, no, okay, all right.
You're drawing me out today. What is this? You're drawing me out
Rob,
now.
Rob, me, ayo, no, it's a 3, not an E.
You're actually done out.
Sorry.
Whatever. So done some stuff with Koji Radical as well for his album.
Okay.
Cashmere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you've done a few bits.
Yeah. So I've done a few stuff.
Yeah.
Within that, even performed with Emily Sande. Also done some stuff for her video as well.
Amazing.
Last year. So last year was quite eventful in itself. So I guess I've done a lot of stuff in terms of myself. I've just been releasing singles, but I'm getting to the point now where I want to release a project. So hold tight for that. Why?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I owe it to everyone for them to kind of get a little taste as to what AO stands for and what my music is about and who I am.
Okay.
With a full project, by the way, that is. I've
so
just
when
dropped
you say
singles here and
a
there.
project, do you mean... Because I always question the need to drop projects or bodies of work.
Well,
because I see everything that you drop as one unit.
One unit, yeah.
So if you drop one unit and 10 people hear it, it doesn't matter if it's a single, 10 people will hear it. If you drop an album of 20 songs...
Yeah. I'm not going there for an album, but you know.
I know. Right? But I'm just saying, and I don't think it will be 20 songs either.
Yeah.
But the same 10 people will hear it because it's the one unit.
Yeah.
Whereas if you drop those 20 songs as individual units, you stand more of a chance for more people to hear it.
Yeah.
That's just my logic. But again, there's nothing stopping you from doing an EP.
There's a strategy behind the madness, sir.
I believe there is.
There is.
I trust in you.
And I shall not reveal the whole strategy on your show today.
Okay,
but you
fair
know,
enough. All right. Which basically means that I will be dropping them individually to begin with, and then.
Okay.
I don't know.
You are drawing me out today. That's all I'm saying. You're drawing me out.
Listen, I know as little as everybody else, so I've got no inside information here. But
yeah. So I just feel like it's time for it.
Why not?
Been coming for a while now, so
there's no rules and there's no right way.
Exactly, there's no rules. Do what you want, do as you please.
Yeah.
What works for next man might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for next man. So it is what it is.
So this body of work is going to be an EP, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Approximately how many tracks are you thinking?
I'll keep that on the wraps.
Cool. Okay, I'll move on.
Yeah.
When are you thinking about dropping it?
Summer next year, by the looks of it.
Launch parties.
Well, that depends on COVID. You need to speak to COVID.
Do you reckon we still have COVID by then?
Listen, it's looking mad. It is looking unpredictable right now. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. With what Boris and his leadership are doing right now.
Big up Boris, man like Boris. Thank you very much for leading us in the right direction. We trust in Boris.
Yeah, the right direction.
Yeah. Whatever direction that might be.
I use that term loosely. But you know.
Let's get political. What are your thoughts on COVID?
You're drawing me out. I use this term pandemic quite a lot. I just feel like everything that they do, it just leads up with a strategy that you can see like, okay, this is definitely strategically thought out. Like, let's do this, let's close the back roads, and then all of a sudden extend congestion charge for everyone. Like, who does that? Because I remember when they started closing off the back roads, closed off some roads in Brixton, I was thinking, what's the point of that?
So what is your... Okay, I'm going to ask you, because I don't know if you've seen my post on this, because I mentioned it on the radio and I posted it on my Insta.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it, so if you haven't, that'd be great, because I want to know what you think the reason is.
I haven't seen it. Okay, yeah.
Good. So what do you think the reason is for them closing the back roads and extending congestion charge and all the rest of it?
They're forcing to take out of our pockets, especially if you're a driver.
Oh, is that all you think? Oh, okay.
That's what I think. That's my main thought. If there's something else, enlighten me about it.
Oh, well, my thought was that it's quite separate. So the congestion charge being extended is completely separate to them closing the back roads. And them closing the back roads was apparently to keep to make the environment more ozone friendly or something like that, or safer. I can't remember the terminology that you used, but basically to stop the environment of those local areas being, I don't know, used so much by cars, and therefore reducing the amount of pollution. That was the idea behind it.
Do you really believe it?
Well, I don't see how when they close the back roads and make people sit in traffic for longer. So a 20-minute journey now takes 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how that makes any sense. But my logic behind it all was that they're pushing us from taking the back roads, and they're pushing us onto the main roads where they're going to install more cameras or use the cameras that they've currently got so they can watch us. And so what they can do is collect data on your every move, so they know exactly where you are every single Wednesday. If you go to the gym every Wednesday, they have that data.
It's just about to lead to my next point of control. It's like it's all about control.
But I don't like talking about it because I don't like conspiracy theorists.
Well, you know, anyways, I like to dwell on my own thoughts and my own personal time.
Trust
but, you
me,
know.
this is me. This is me all the time. Okay, all right. While we're being political, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. Let's do it. Why not? Yeah. A lot of people during the if you look could actually see the roll of the eyes. Okay, right. So during these times where people are at home during COVID, on lockdown, some artists have taken to the studio and made songs about COVID and being on lockdown, and some during the time have taken time to make songs about Black Lives Matter and even gone to protests or gone to marches. What have you done during the Black Lives Matter situation? Have you done anything? Have gone anywhere? Made any songs?
A lot of my time has been thinking about the whole Black Lives Matter movement, writing about it. It's been a lot of my writing right now has been influenced by it, I'm not gonna lie, but it's been influenced as in a way like it's a fire within me that's burning, that's making me wake up a bit more. Like I feel like I was asleep before, now I feel like okay, I need to be woke, and it's just made me want to search my history, like delve into my history a bit more, delve into what's happened in the past. A lot of the time I feel like they're trying to paint us as all our history is just that we were slaves and we were freed, and we are trying to, you know, gain more freedom and not be oppressed anymore, like but I feel like there's more to our history, there's more to our greatness, and if you look back, there's certain things that have been hidden in terms of like our achievements, and it's just been overshadowed by this whole slavery thing, and it's like we're more than slaves. We come from a place of more riches and wealth than we know, but because of the slavery and how it is, they're trying to make it seem like that's all you lot are. They're trying to like lock us down, would I say, as that's all you lot are and that's all you lot can amount to be. Like this freedom that you got from slavery is all that you're going to basically get. You're not going to get respect, you're not going to get that, but there's more. Just do some research. Like I realized, I posed this question to one of my friends the other day, and I was just like, the whole point of history back in school was to learn about history, right? But we were learning the wrong history. We were learning about what's his name, the Henry the Eighth and all that stuff, Churchill and all those people. I'm like, when I look back, like the whole massacre stuff that happened in the past, like there's a lot.
But and I like to play devil's advocate in defense of the UK. They're teaching British history, Henry VIII and Winston Churchill. Do they need to teach Black history?
They need to teach more Black history, and not just limit it to one whole month, Black History Month. There needs to be more modules that delve into our history. Okay, well, if they teach Black history, do they not need to teach Indian history and Chinese history? They most probably do. Okay. To be fair, I'm going to be fair, they most probably do, yeah. Okay. Especially for the fact that it's a country of just different heritages anyways, and you build and thrive off of the different heritages, different countries that come here and help build the country. That's the least that they can do, in my opinion. Fair enough. Okay, right. Last political thing. As I said, people are making songs about lockdown and COVID, and people making songs about Black Lives Matter. Not many people have taken to the studio to talk and sing or make any real statements about the End Stars situation that we're going through. Boy. Why do you think that is? And that just popped into my head as we were talking about Black Lives Matter. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people aren't educated enough on it. I'm not. I don't get it. I know what's happening. I don't know why it's happening. They're not educated enough on the police brutality that's happening in Nigeria at the moment, and just the corrupt government, the bad government. And I hate to shed light on it, but I feel like it has to be shed. Light has to be shed on it for the sake of change. But it's like a lot more needs to happen. A lot more information needs to be put out there, and I feel like not a lot of people care. That's it. Not a lot more people care. What needs to happen? Government needs to be asked. They need to be put in question, literally. They need to be made to stand up. A lot of other people need to get involved, because I feel like the Nigerian government's just unruly. They're just mad unruly. NSARS started with just a protest of people protesting at the SARS, which are some special force, basically, in the Nigerian police department for robbery, anti-robbery, fraud, and some more other stuff. But basically, that's their special unit, basically. Rather than doing their jobs, they're picking on youths, people who apparently look the part, people like me with dreads and, you know, who are, you know, looking flashy, or they're driving great big cars for their age and whatnot. They're picking them out. So they're picking out young people and robbing them, basically, taking out their bank, going through to their bank accounts on their phones, robbing them, doing transactions and robbing them of their money, shooting them, killing them. And it's like, the government was the whole point of the process was to raise awareness to that. They disbanded SARS and decided to create a SWAT team. That SWAT team is filled with the people who, like, all the officers that were under the ban of SARS.
Absolutely, yep.
And that's just caused more of an outrage. Like, what the hell? Like, you haven't disbanded them and like put them back into training. You just basically rebranded them, and they're gonna go about doing the same thing, which ended in the massacre. So it's quite crazy.
It was the air freshener. Okay, so let's get off the kind of down topics of, you know, depressing topics.
A lot needs to be done with that, by the way, but you know,
it's
too much. Too much to fit into a small segment, basically.
What's next for you?
What is next for me? So I'm going to be releasing more music. What's actually next for me is the visuals for What They Say.
Okay. Have they been recorded yet?
They're going to be recorded on Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah.
Video shoot. So everybody, if you're interested, video shoot on Saturday. Put your glad rags on.
Listen, I'm trying to follow the regulations and guidelines.
5 more people are welcome.
No, listen, I'm not trying to pay 10,000. Everybody stay at home. Yeah. Stay at home, please. Thank you.